What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we, the people, choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
Do you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
Come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham. Breaking news into the Fanfare newsfeed.
All right, everybody, got some news for you, and it ain't good. And you see the poll I just put up. The poll I just put up says, basically, should Trump go scorched earth? And 90% of you, 89 now, say go after them all. Excuse me. And somebody said go easy, just focus. Well, I'm going to tell you something that just happened. You may already know, some of you. Don't do spoiler alert stuff. But after what just happened, at this point, all bets are off. I don't even want to hear these people talk about, oh, he's going after his political opponents. I don't want to hear it. At this point, he should tell, even though he hasn't told them, he should tell Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, do whatever you need to do, go completely scorched earth, screw these people, do whatever you need to do. Leave no stone unturned. Use every resource of the federal government and make these people feel some pain. I'm done. I am just done. Barry, what are you talking about? All right, breaking news. Judge Merchan decides he's going to uphold Trump's 34 felony convictions, despite presidential immunity ruling from SCOTUS. Just gonna ignore it. Like it never even happened. Supreme Court? What Supreme Court? I'm going to keep this conviction in place. Unbelievable. Mike Davis. The Supreme Court's June presidential immunity ruling requires Democrat Manhattan Judge Juan Merchan to declare a mistrial. But Merchan once again is ignoring the Supreme Court. He's ignoring clear law. His daughter Lauren could lose a lot of Democrat funding and be in trouble to the tunes of tens of millions of dollars if her dad ruled the other way. Clear corruption. New York Times, judge denies Trump's bid to throw out conviction over immunity ruling. Justice Juan Merchan thwarted one of several attempts by President-elect Trump to clear his record of 34 felonies before returning to the White House. Continuing. And I firmly believe this. Judge Merchan just assured that his daughter will be investigated for being his bagman laundering DNC bribes. Go after him. Leave no stone unturned. This is it. They want to continue with lawfare? Let them feel the pain. I like what Rich wrote here. This is pretty interesting. Shocker. Juan Merchan is all in on Trump lawfare. Watch what he does next. And I believe this is what's going to happen. He will suspend sentencing to prevent appeal till after July 20th, 2029 to hold the faux conviction over his head. Remember, if he can't appeal, he can't be considered convicted. The amount of error in this case is staggering. All right, so let me just explain in case you're wondering, what the hell is he talking about? So he's going to uphold the convictions, or the guilty, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to withhold sentencing. You see, if he withholds sentencing, then Trump can't appeal. It has not been finally adjudicated. So he's just going to hold this thing over Trump's head like the sword of Damocles and just wait until this 82-year-old man gets out of office. Then they're going to put him in jail. That's what the plan is. Somewhere, somehow, they've hatched this plan in their mind that they're going to put Trump in jail when he gets out of office. And they're going to put all their chips in the middle here and basically ignore the Supreme Court and let this stand. These people have, like, huge cojones. They won't rest until this man is in jail, until he dies in jail. Now, I'm sure Trump and his attorneys are going to have a lot to say about this in the coming days. They may ask for an emergency hearing in front of the Supreme Court. I'm not a lawyer. We'll have to see what some of these Supreme Court lawyers end up saying. But this is ludicrous. This is absolutely insane. So let's see what happens with Fani Willis. Is that case going to just keep waiting until he gets out of the White House? Then we'll throw his ass in jail. This isn't good for them. It's not going to end well. See, I put up that poll knowing that some of you guys may feel that way. Look, the 10% of you said, just chill, go easy and focus. 10% of you said that. I bet you now if I reran that poll after what you know now, you're like, hell no, all bets off. Go after them with everything you got. Tear them a new butthole. Leave no stone unturned. Go with the IRS. Go with everything. Check their bank accounts. All of it. I don't care. At this point, you get what you ask for. You want to fight? You're really spoiling for a fight? Give them a fight, Trump. Give them a fight, Cash. Give them a fight, Pam Bondi. This has to stop. They're not going to. You have to make them stop at this point. These people are sick in the head. Either that or they have so much to hide that they're terrified. We got to put him in jail. This isn't going to stop Trump. You can't stop what's coming. All this is going to do is piss him off. And it lets him know at this point that, oh my gosh, you people are nuts. Whoever you're trying to hide back there, whatever deep state you're trying to keep protected, this isn't going to work. Man, you're pretty dumb. A question here real quick. Can anyone tell me the name of the girl who's in the video as a first-time Trump voter? That was Nicole Shanahan. Nicole Shanahan was RFK Jr.'s running mate. She would have been well, if he had won, she would have been his vice president. And she's working very hard behind the scenes. What goes around comes around. Oh yeah, Nancy, absolutely perfect. Nessun Dorma, baby. Yeah, YouTube is manipulating the poll. Why? It should be 99.9 to 0 at this point, probably. Yeah, rerun the poll. I guess you guys did know it. At this point, no stone unturned. I mean, I bet you guys all feel the same way at this point. It's crazy that they would just continue to go after this man. So now what's going to happen? Okay, so let's set the stage on this. It is, as we're doing this video right now, December 16th. Based on what Merchan just did, and they probably think the same reaction I'm having and you're having, that Trump is going to come after all these people. Watch 1,000 pardons all of a sudden show up in the next couple of weeks. He's going to give out he's going to give out pardons like Halloween candy. These people, there's only one reason why Merchan would have done that. Merchan would have done that because the people Trump, okay, play the chess match, okay? So if you do this, you're going to piss off Trump. Well, if you piss off Trump, he's going to have these guys do that. So if he does that, then we got to make sure these people are protected. Let's go ahead and pardon everybody. We are at a crux right now with this country. We a little over a month. Let's see, 30 days, 34, 35 days before Trump gets in. And they know they are caged. Well, I wouldn't say caged, but they're cornered animals. There is no way out for what these people have done. And so they're going to hold on to every vestige of power and leverage that they think they have over Trump at this point. God help them. God help them at this point, because Trump needs to find every single one of these rats, whatever hole they've dug, yank them by the head, and no mercy. No mercy. No, don't take any prisoners. You watch. In the next 2 weeks, how many people get pardoned? If not the next 2 weeks, next 30 days. He's already up to 8,000. Who knows how many he's going to go for? We have no government. The Supreme Court is not respected. Neither is Congress. Nope, not at all. Not at all. A pardon can't stop them from being held accountable. Well, at this point, they don't care. See, I got something I want to show you. I got a supercut. Those of you guys who were here this afternoon, we were talking a lot about everything that was going on with the Stephanopoulos case. And I put together a supercut with the last piece being something that happened today. These people just don't care. At this point, they learned that Stephanopoulos is basically going to cough up $1 million of his own dollars, and then ABC is going to have to cough up 14, and they don't really know what to do. He may have to begin pardoning people in the press. It may get that deep. Check this out.
I think it's still important to message it. I mean, I totally agree. I think, it's egregious, and this is now different from 2016 because he has been found liable. So it's a different scenario.
But the question that I have is, why do we have a significant swath of the country that is so ready to give the democracy away for a man who is a criminal, has been civilly held liable for? He's a terrible businessman.
I just have to say, I'll take those concerns seriously if you also express concerns about the allegations. He's been found liable for. Okay, so that's also true. So we're not going to litigate those other things, but you can't just pick and choose.
If you don't want to be held liable for like Donald Trump has, don't grab the woman's. If you don't want to be held liable for defaming the woman that you, don't keep lying about what you did. And
at the end of the day, what we know from Donald Trump is that he has over 24 credible allegations of. We know that he was found liable for. We know that this is somebody who has a long-standing history of being aggressive towards women.
But it certainly reminds everyone who Donald Trump is, that this is a man who is incapable of self-control and is capable of the kind of verbal diarrhea that we saw last night. But I do think the Democrats also need to look at him and go, why are we not beating this guy? Why is this convicted felon, this man has been found liable? Why is this ranter and raver? Why is he leading in the polls?
And lies are lies. And do you want to vote for a felon? Do you want to vote for somebody, who said awful things about women, has been held liable? Do you want to, vote for somebody who's a conspiracy theorist or behind January 6th or loves dictators? I just keep hammering those points on that those are insane things.
That's not the case, but
it only took me literally about 15 minutes to put that together. That tells you how much they were saying this during the course of the campaign, over and over and over. They wanted to drill it home. They couldn't even understand how he was leading in the polls. They couldn't understand how it was even close because, here's this guy who was held liable for what. And now he's got, if I can find all this stuff, he can find it all. It's readily available. You've got that one, that one, that one, that one. They all said it. I would tomorrow have my attorney go, bam, bam, drop them all, sue them all. Go completely scorched earth. Get your attorneys in front of the Supreme Court. Get your other attorneys into court filing cases against every single one of these networks. Don't even blink about it. Turn on the machine and let it run hog wild. Take these people down hard. Not a little bit, hard. Destroy the media. Yeah, I'm saying destroy the media. They are no longer viable. X has destroyed them anyway. Put the final nail in the coffin at this point. Show everybody, just like, supercuts and everything else you can do, and show everybody that these people are nothing but raving lunatics. Now, it's funny here, I got a cut. Those things that you saw earlier were during the actual campaign. This cut happened today. This is Jim Acosta talking to Brian Stelter. Listen to this.
That's not the case. But I just feel, and I wonder how you feel about that aspect of all of this. I mean, to me, it seems this is a time for our industry to stand firm. And we're going to have a very important job to do.
Think about what he just said. Stand firm. Keep going. You can't. You're liable. He's going to sue the pants off you. And the easiest remedy here is just to tell the truth. I've never seen so many people anguish and twist themselves into knots because they just have to tell the truth. You don't have to embellish and put your opinion and do all this stuff and lie against somebody. All you got to do is tell the truth. You can give an opinion, but you can't defame him. You can't do it against Kash Patel. At this point, I think everybody who said this stuff about Pete Hegseth, sue them all. This media will not conform if you do not make them. There's something not ready with all these people.
And that's not putting us on a pedestal or anything like that, but we're going to have a very important job to do because Trump is not going to change his ways when he gets back in the Oval Office. He's going to continue to say things that need to be fact-checked.
Who's fact-checking CNN? Just yesterday, I don't know if you guys know this, just yesterday, one of their actors/reporters got caught faking a rescue in Syria. They're having a CNN internal investigation about the woman faking a story. Who's fact-checking? The fact-checkers. Let me see if I can find that, because that to me is just... When you look at these people, they don't think you've seen the different things. And so when people understand that they're so full of crap... let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Yeah, here it is. It says, just saw this myself. CNN caught on tape faking a scene for dramatic effect. 100% stage, as you can hear the producer telling them to fake it. And, they're supposedly, that's the same woman. They're all crawling around acting, oh, there it is, acting like, something was happening. And it was all fake. It's all staged. And you want these people fact-checking? You think you're going to get the straight scoop from these nuts? I mean, here's another one. This one is the one in Syria I was telling you. They have no class and no shame. CNN just got caught red-handed faking a story about prisoners being mistreated in Syria's prisons. Fake Clarissa Ward and her CNN team find a prisoner still in Assad's Air Force Intel HQ in Damascus. This is what they want you to believe. But it was all fake. So how do you put any credence whatsoever into the media when they're faking news stories, yet they go on television and pretend like, oh, we're the standards, we're the gold standard. You're liars.
You can't have the news industry worrying about this sort of stuff when they're just simply doing their jobs.
Well, if some bend the knee, others have to stand up straighter. You know, the former Time magazine editor Richard Stengel said this morning, Trump has sued dozens of publications and media outlets in the past, trying to, quote, intimidate the press into self-censorship, not to actually win any particular case. He did win in this case with a big payment, but that broader concern about self-censorship is one that I know many viewers and readers are worried about. And ultimately, Jim, right, as you know, we work for them. We work for the viewers, not for anybody else.
That's right. All right, Brian Stelter, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll be right back.
So you work for the viewers. I guess not that many. From what we've been seeing in the ratings, ain't that many people watching, Jim. They tuned you out, Brian. They know you're full of it. How can you sit in front of a camera and tell people you're worried about fact-checking Trump while right there on X, all over X, is a story about one of your reporters faking an entire report? Had the producers, had the cameramen, her crawling on the ground like she's part of some infantry, and it's all fake. Yet you come out there and say, well, we got to fact check Trump. We got to make sure, we hold Trump's feet to the fire and everything else. Liars got to lie, I guess. It doesn't make any sense, but they've been caught. And now you can see the panic. They don't know what to do at this point. Because if I were Trump, I would assign somebody, your job here, just okay, you've been hired, your job is to watch this crap and just keep watching it. And every time they say something defaming, we know they're going to lie. I don't need you to find every lie, but when they say that Trump is this or Trump is that, go ahead and, make sure you can find that. As you know from other shows I put it, CNN is dying a slow death. The Food Network beat them out in ratings. To realize how bad this is, CNN is in every airport and is broadcast worldwide, and they lost to the Food Network. I don't know how you continue as a network when everyone's finding out at this point that you're making stuff up and you suck. You lost to the Hallmark Channel. That's really, really bad. Really bad. But in any event, you guys are that bad. Now they're seriously scared. They should be. They should be very, very scared. Did Trump know about all of this today when he was live? He seemed ticked off. He may have. I don't know. The ruling from Merchan didn't come out until like 6:30 or so. So he may have gotten notice early from his attorneys, but it didn't hit the wire X until about 6:30. Nobody believes them except the most ignorant of people. Yeah. So yeah, that was Trump may have been why he was pissed off. Really bad. Really, really, really bad. Let me just move up here. CNN, make me a sandwich. You guys are funny. I don't think a pardon could apply to treason. How could it? It isn't really criminal. It's the biggest of big crimes. I don't even know if at this point they are going to be able to use pardons for, what was it called? Preemptive crimes. That's still an untested thing. People are going to have to test that. He's going to issue 1,000 of them, preemptive pardons, and someone's going to have to test it before the Supreme Court to see if that is even going to hold. I mean, we're approaching never land at this point with the stuff that they're doing. But hence, that's what they're doing. All right, so Trump has been busy tonight. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anything. Let me bring you up to date on all this stuff. And let's see, what's the first one? Okay, so the first one I got to bring you up to date on is Trump has nominated Lou Rinaldi to serve as the next United States ambassador to Uruguay. A successful businessman, entrepreneur, and longtime friend, Lou brings a lifetime of experience and unique perspective to this important role. Lou is a great golfer. He will be in a country with some terrific courses. Having grown up in Uruguay, he possesses an intimate understanding of the country's culture and history. His expertise and background make him exceptionally qualified to advance United States interests and strengthen the long-standing partnership between the United States and Uruguay. Congratulations, Lou. His next appointment was Leah Francis Campos as United States ambassador to the Dominican Republic. Leah served our country as a CIA case officer before becoming senior advisor for the Western Hemisphere on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Leah is a mother to 4 beautiful children and comes from a family of patriots. Her sister, the outstanding Rachel Campos Duffy of Fox News, and brother-in-law Sean Duffy, who will be Secretary of Transportation. Wow, he really went deep into their family. Leah will take her love of country and commitment to our national security and prosperity to her post as U.S. Ambassador to the Dominican Republic. It's a nice, cushy job in the Caribbean. Next we have, talk about cushy jobs. I am pleased to announce that I will nominate Arthur Graham Fisher as the next United States Ambassador to the Republic of Austria. Art is a president of Fisher Realty, a full-service real estate firm founded in 1977 with 3 offices in the beautiful mountains of North Carolina. He has been consistently ranked as a top broker in the area and throughout the state of North Carolina, representing many of the most astute clients in America. And Art has been a staunch supporter of America First policies, and he will make us proud in Austria. And we got a couple more. He's been busy. I am pleased to announce Stacy Feinberg will be our next United States ambassador to Luxembourg. Now that's a cushy job. Luxembourg is beautiful, and no wars, nothing going on over there. That's a cush job, especially if you like to ski. Stacy's a graduate of Northwestern. Okay, so she's from cold weather. After graduating, Stacy assisted her father at his pioneering sports and entertainment law firm. As a producer of Broadway musicals, a motivational speaker, and a board member of the Women's Founder Network, Stacy is committed to supporting women and launching their careers and scaling their businesses to unprecedented success. Stacy will be great and make America proud. Just got done watching Sound and Music last night with Robin, and the whole area of Luxembourg and Austria, just beautiful, isn't it? You ever watch that movie? I don't really care for all the singing. I like the song Edelweiss. Edelweiss, Edelweiss. Oh, I think I'm embarrassing myself. I'll shut up here real quick. That's a cool song now. I'm pleased to announce George Edward Glass as our next United States ambassador to Japan. That's another cool gig. In my first term, George was the U.S. ambassador to Portugal. As a former president of an investment bank, George will bring his business acumen to the ambassador's position. George graduated from the University of Oregon, served as alumni president on its board of trustees. He will always put America first. Congratulations to George. Japan would be nice. I'd like that. And one more. This was Lou Rinaldi. All right, so those are the nominations that he has put forward tonight. So, have you guys noticed, have you seen anything as to what is going on in Canada? So Canada, after Trump basically told them he's going to tariff the hell out of them, maybe as soon as tonight, maybe by the time we're done with this show, Justin Trudeau could be without a job. He might have to resign. We're going to jump into that video as soon as we get back. If you see what's going on in the world right now and what may happen here in America, you may want to prepare and pay attention. You know that Lear Capital is a big supporter of this show. If you want to be protected in the event that things go off the wall, I advise you to look into buying gold and silver. We are all just one catastrophic event away from the value of the American dollar plunging. Do you know what's not plunging? Gold and silver. I'm telling you now, make sure that you have some form of your money invested in precious metals. Lear Capital will ship your gold or your silver coins directly to your house. It's not just a certificate. You can store them in your gun safe, or you can store them off-site in a 24-hour protected facility. It's totally up to you. But when things go crazy here, or across the world, the value of the American dollar is going to decline. It's inevitable, and it might not even take a war. We may do it to ourselves. And I mean, the Federal Reserve plays around with interest rates, the US dollar will likely decline in value as well. Meanwhile, you'll see gold and silver continue to rise in value. If you call Lear Capital, they will take the time to educate you and answer all of your questions about gold and silver. Just give them a call at 800-601-5430 or go to Learberry, that's me, learberry.com, to download your free de-dollarization report. You should know that Lear Capital is an American company. If you call them today, you'll be speaking with people right here in the United States. Now is the time to take action. Call 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. And when you call, ask them how you can get up to $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualifying purchase. There's absolutely no obligation to buy anything. Just free information on protecting your hard-earned dollars with gold and silver. You know, when you think about it, you're actually not buying anything. You're simply going to be exchanging dollars for gold, moving currency. Give them a call today. Tell them Barry sent you.
Welcome back to Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
They're very much on notice, and they're going to have to stop this from happening. They're going to have to stop it. We lose a lot of money to Mexico. We lose a lot of money to Canada. Tremendous amount. We're subsidizing Canada. We're subsidizing Mexico. That can't go on. And I get along with the people of Mexico and Canada very well, but we can't let that happen. Why are we supporting and giving other countries hundreds of billions of dollars? It's not fair. It's not right. And the people of Mexico and Canada fully understand that. We've talked about it before, but now we're doing something about it.
Mr. Trudeau is being held in office by one man, Jagmeet Singh. A fifth of Liberal MPs have written a letter for him to resign. His deputy prime minister has walked out on him. His housing minister has quit. That on top of numerous other female ministers who stormed out after his appalling mistreatment and abuse and dishonesty towards them. 80% of Canadians have lost confidence in this Prime Minister. So why is Jagmeet Singh making the entire country wait for him to get his pension? That is the question today.
All right, so what's going on in Canada? Earlier, Cynthia Freeland, she resigned. She was the finance prime minister of Canada. And then tonight, we get this one. Trudeau's housing minister, Sean Fraser, he also resigned, making him the second cabinet minister to resign on Monday morning before the fall economic update. When asked why he's resigning, Fraser cites a total lack of public support, even amongst his own family. Oh gosh, that's just too much. Oh man. And then right after that, 60 members of the Canadian Parliament have signed a letter calling on disgraced Canadian PM Justin Trudeau to resign immediately. That was at 5:15 p.m. So 60 members of Parliament have said, you got to go. And this all started with Trump saying basically a very simple thing. If you don't get this fixed, we're going to tariff the heck out of you. And all of a sudden, that's all it took. The entirety of Canada started falling apart. Listen to the rest of this.
People are having a very hard time paying for groceries. Young people can't find affordable housing. And beyond that, we have the threat of Trump's tariffs. and that's putting hundreds of thousands of jobs in Canada in danger. And instead of dealing with issues that are important for Canadians, the Prime Minister is dealing with fighting in his own party. It's clear that the Prime Minister cannot continue. Will he resign today, yes or no?
Mr. Speaker, the NDP leader is absolutely right. This cannot continue. This Prime Minister cannot go on like this. Housing costs have doubled. Food bank use has doubled. The debt has doubled. Gun crime has doubled. And now we face troubling tariff threats from a president who can see weakness coming from a mile away.
Can you believe this? Trump's not even in office yet. As you know, he doesn't even take office for a month or so. And you got adversarial governments, which I didn't know Canada was that much of an adversary, but you can't even take the prospect, the idea that this guy is going to drop a 25% tariff on your economy. Why couldn't Trudeau just say, okay, we'll work with Trump? No tariffs. We're done. That's all he would have to do. All he would have to do, and Cynthia Freeland and all the other nuts up there. But perhaps they can't. Perhaps they've been told, hold the line. But my country's falling apart. It's falling apart around me. Hold the line. Do not give in to Trump. So it's possible by the time we wake up tomorrow, there's a new prime minister in Canada. It could happen that fast. It could literally happen that fast. All because Trump, who's not even in the office yet, said, if you don't fix this, we're going to hit you with tariffs. Which makes you kind of wonder, it's like, you really aren't, you can just turn off the fentanyl and you know, the trafficking and stuff. Can't you just stop it? Your entire country would be like, okay, everything's good. But no, you refuse to stop it to the point where you're having a complete mutiny?
Prime Minister must leave this job, but there's only one person who can remove him, and that's the leader of the NDP. Yes. Will he put the country ahead of his pension?
This is as serious as it gets. The finance minister quit hours before she was supposed to do this, and she doesn't have confidence in this prime minister. No one does. This man is a disgrace, and we need an election now.
So I don't know. I know we get a lot of people in here from Canada who watch my videos. What in the hell is going on up there? And somebody told me it's not Cynthia, it's Chrystia Freeland, who's the finance minister who walked. And, you know, as she walked, she signed a letter she was leaving, and it was basically blaming Trump. And I'm like, damn, man, this dude ain't even in office yet. We love our Canadian. Trudeau is socialism, wokeism always failed. Yeah, he's been hated long before this issue. Yeah, but I'm wondering how did it all of a sudden just happen? Did people just have enough? Yeah, cartels and Biden threatening. Could be. Y'all do know that Canada is ruled by England. So what in the heck is going on? You're telling me that Trump just decided to say we're going to put 25% tariffs, and that imploded everything? I mean, I understand he was not liked to begin with, and that there were some problems with Trudeau, but how did it turn into a full-scale mutiny of get the guy out of office? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Trump is more popular in Canada. Wait a minute. Canadian politicians have plenty to hide, too. Thank you. I was looking to see some comments from people in Canada. Like, tell me, what the heck is going on up there? Get a life, says Canada strong. Trudeau is probably getting kickbacks. And I knew Trudeau wasn't well liked by Canadians, but I didn't know it was this bad. Me either. I didn't know this. Let me see if I can find her resignation letter, because she left scathing. I mean, she was all kinds of ticked off when she left, and it looked like she was basically blaming him for letting Trump say something like that. But to me, it's so simple. Just don't be an idiot. Here's her letter. I don't know if we can see it. I'll put it over here. Let me see if I can do it this way. I'm gonna save it, and then hold on. Because this letter, it's worth looking at this thing, because she went after him hard. I've never seen anybody basically look like she was going to go after him this way. But here we go. Here, 1 second. I had to convert it so I can show it to you, and then we can pull it up. Okay, got it. All right, so here's her letter and what she said. She goes, "The Right Honorable Justin Trudeau. It's been an honor of my life to serve in government, working for Canada and Canadians." Hold on, let me center this so you guys can see it. There we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. Hold on. It's not zooming. Okay. Ooh, whoa, that's too big. Okay. Maybe we get it here. Can you zoom in some more? It won't zoom in too much further for me. All right. It's been the honor of my life to serve in government, working for Canada and Canadians. We have accomplished a lot together. On Friday, you told me you no longer want me to serve as your finance minister and offered me another position in the cabinet. Upon reflection, I have concluded that the only honest and viable path is for me to resign from the cabinet. To be effective, a minister must speak on behalf, blah, 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 blah. And then she gets down here. Our country today faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration in the United States is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including a threat of a 25% tariff. We need to take the threat extremely seriously. That means keeping our fiscal powder dry today, so we have to have the reserves we may need for a coming tariff war. That means eschewing costly political gimmicks which we can ill afford and which make Canadians doubt we recognize the gravity of the moment. That means pushing back against America First economic nationalism with a determined effort to fight for capital investment for the jobs they bring. So she wanted to fight Trump. And then she goes down here, I will always, it is this conviction which has driven my strenuous efforts this fall to manage our spending in ways that will give us the flexibility we will need to meet the serious challenges presented by the United States. So this woman wanted to pick a fight with Trump. And she's ticked off because Trudeau didn't want to do that. And so she quit because I guess Trudeau was trying to move her out. We don't want all this kind of fighting. Go be a secretary over here. So she quit. In her mind, she wants to fight. She wants to fight Trump, and she doesn't like America First. Good luck with that. Trump just told him, what does that say? Trump just told him 25% tariff, and he didn't close the borders. That's how, just think about that. That's how important it is to these people that these borders remain open. Their entire government is on the verge of collapse. For a very simple request, just close your friggin' borders. Stop letting people in, stop letting fentanyl in, stop trafficking, and we're all good. How can that be something that it basically causes your entire government to implode? Why is it that important? I think we're seeing something happen here with both Mexico and Canada. Whoever it is, whatever deep state people are trying to articulate and run this stuff, they don't want it to stop, which makes them very dangerous, both with the fentanyl and with the kids and the newcomers. So between now and January 19th or 20th, you can watch and expect them to bring in so many people, spend so many dollars, because right now all they want to do is bankrupt America. And they're going to try everything they possibly can. That regime is as bad as ours in the United States. Yeah, probably. Everyone smart should have been kissing the ring already, unless they are innocent. Liberals in Canada are exactly the same as the Dems in deep state here. I guess that poison has just imagine how much that has infected people around the world, and now they can't even imagine not being able to do that. They want to reject America first. He's coming around all at the right time. Yep, I believe this, Mark. All is going to be exposed. Time, bring it. Barry, all this not because of the border. It's because of a $61 billion deficit and the threat of the tariff, and he has to plan to negotiate. Good point. Good point. They all received a video copy of what Trudeau was doing. Yes, I watched some of Julia Green's stuff. She's very good. By the way, have you seen what the NBA is doing? Just a little side note here. How the NBA is quietly trying to distance themselves from LeBron. Something big's about to blow on all this stuff. Like you guys have been saying, this is bad, but I didn't think it would be this bad. I didn't think people would be willing to basically overthrow, and not really overthrow, just collapse the government because Trump's in office. How did they set all this up? They got Trudeau up there, they got the woman in Mexico, and they never thought this guy was going to win. It's the epic eternal battle, it's the epic eternal battle happening. Yep. Yeah, LeBron is freaking out. You guys need to look into that. At this point, there are some people, high-level entertainment, people are going to go crazy when Trump gets in. If he gets in and he starts releasing this information, which even Dick Durbin today was like, no, we're not releasing the list. And like, hey, Dick, what's your problem? Let me see if I can find that. Dick Durbin today doesn't want to release the list. And you have to wonder well, you don't really have to wonder, do you? When people are freaking out this way. This was something that was posted by Liz Churchill early today. And Liz Churchill said that, let me pause this video. Bill Gates is lobbying the Senate night and day to prevent the list from being released. And then Dick Durbin comes out and says he's not going to release the names. Bill Gates met with Senator Durbin last week. And here's a copy of what he wrote. The Gates Foundation has been a key partner in improving health outcomes both around the world and here at home. Today I met with Bill Gates to discuss the need for continued investment in resilient global health system. They don't want this list. They don't want this list publicized. And that's Cash talking about it. So I mean, it's kind of nuts what's going on. And I just feel like this is all coming to a head. Coming to a head very fast. This train is just Canada, Mexico, the Democrats, the media. Do you see it all converging? Everything is happening at the same time very quickly. And they're all headed to the same calamity of going off a cliff. And I think it's going to be much worse than any of us even imagine. I mean, we all have been wondering about the guy's list from, the one in the island. And we know about the whole Diddy stuff. But how much do we know? We don't know anything. But what we do know is they've been real hush-hush about all this stuff. And what we're seeing now are people actually beginning to freak out. Unlike they have before. So we're getting close to something. I don't know what it is. I know that the Democrats today are trying to push a new law, which will never pass, to make the Electoral College irrelevant and only be the popular vote. They're freaking out. Be careful. I'm worried about the drone stuff, but these people are getting nutty. Very nutty out there. Here's that bill I was just talking about. A group of Senate Democrats introduced a bill to abolish the Electoral College, restoring democracy by allowing the direct election of a president through popular vote alone. They know this is never going to pass. So it's desperation time in the Democrat Party. I have not wavered in my thoughts whatsoever. These people cannot win another election anytime soon. They are beginning to see that. And so they're trying everything. I mean, when I said agonal breathing, this is agonal breathing. When the Democrats put out something like this, and this was this afternoon, you can see the date. A group of Senate Democrats introduced a bill to abolish the Electoral College, restoring democracy by allowing the direct election of presidents through popular vote alone. I'm not telling you to be afraid. I'm telling you there's some craziness going on. And it's escalating in a big, big way. They are losing the media, as you've seen with the Stephanopoulos thing. They are losing their political allies in other countries. You got Bibi Netanyahu starting to flex some muscle over there because he knows Trump's coming in. This is going to be epic come January. I don't know anything about these drones. I don't know who knows what the hell's going on. But I do know they're gonna make sure Trump is protected all the way through January 20th and beyond. Because with this amount of freakoutishness happening, you can bet your butt they're gonna do something stupid. They're gonna. I mean, I can't tell you what it might be, but these people are crazy. So I want to go into a next video here. Many of you guys know I've been basically posting videos about Stephen A. Smith from ESPN for quite some time. And some of you guys had written me or commented and said, why are you posting about Stephen A. Smith? Because I had an inclination, no proof. I said, this dude's lying. He's doing what he's supposed to do because he's been paid or told, make sure you do this or do that. But every time he'd post a video, I'm like, dude, sound like a Republican. And then he went from being a Democrat to an independent. And then he started calling out Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris spent all this money. Well, he posted a video, which I'm about to show you. And in this video, he's pissed off at the Democrats because one of the worst things you can do to people in the media is lie to them. And he's feeling like he's been lied to.
The news comes amidst a bombshell report from the Justice Department that revealed the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. The report says most of the informants engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its 26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appeared to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago." End quote. Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that when the quote-unquote insurrection was broached by Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee. The belief that Donald Trump was a danger to democracy and using this as a profound, illuminating bullet point to make that case. And now here we are yet again finding even more evidence to Donald Trump's claims when he articulated that.
What do you mean we? I don't know what you're talking about, we, Stephen. See, many of us have known this for quite some time, and we were telling you. We were telling you they were lying to you. I don't know if the checks cashed or they cleared or whatever, but you're just now catching up to us from a long time ago. You bought it all, whether you really did or not. You played the minstrel for these people. You did the shuck and jive. And now you're looking for a refund. Yo, bro, no refunds. You didn't want to vote for Trump. You were all in on Kamala, your sister. And now you're questioning why did Oprah, her friend, bill her for a couple million. I don't know if you're questioning that or the fact that you didn't get a check. I don't know. But don't say there that all of a sudden this is coming out, because we all knew. You could have just done some due diligence and found out for yourself.
Process is rigged. My big issue is that I'm really, really sick and tired of every time I turn around finding something else that the Democrats have lied about or downplayed or misrepresented along the way. I mean, I see Republicans like Megyn Kelly or Officer Tatum or Candace Owens or, the Sean Hannitys of the world. You know what I'm getting tired of? You know what I'm getting to the Democratic Party? You know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off at every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right.
That's because we are. You see, this is part of what I'm seeing happening across the media. People like Stephen A. who can basically say what he wants. He doesn't really care. And he's whining and complaining that he ends up looking stupid. Meanwhile, the people on CNN and MSNBC, they have to keep up the charade. They have to keep going with the minstrel act. That's how their bread is buttered. But people who know, even like Leslie Stahl a couple of videos ago where she's like, I don't think this media thing is going to work. She actually said that. Vance Jones a couple days ago. Yeah, Trump is smarter than all of us. He kicked our butts. Yeah, there's some people coming out now with mea culpas. Have you been noticing? Have you been noticing some of the people coming out and going, hey, this is some crap. You used me. I'm gonna just call this Exhibit 920 of my case that I've been telling you that the Democrats aren't going to win anything anytime soon. You burned too many viable bridges. See, those bridges ain't coming. They're not going to be rebuilt anytime soon. You have too many integral people looking side-eye at you going, you've been lying all this time? Do you understand what it makes me look like because I supported you? That I kept making videos and putting myself out there and talking about Kamala this and Kamala that? And now we're finding out everything that Sean Hannity and Candace Owens and Officer Tatum and Barry and Benny Johnson and PBD, it's all true? Yep, it's all true. You've been hoodwinked. With your $10, $15 million a year salary over at ESPN, and you started moonlighting in politics, but you didn't want to hear it. And now, look at you. Now you're seeing it from the same news stations that you watch, that, they staged it all. But you didn't even want to think. See, Democrats, and I'll call them good Democrats, not the crazies. There are good people who are Democrats who are just bamboozled. You have to understand that. I know Democrats. I got some in my family. They're not crazy. They just didn't understand that they've been hoodwinked, hypnotized, bamboozled. Pick your word. They didn't understand it was that bad. That everything that they were being shown was a complete flipping illusion. And now, how do you think you're going to get these people back? Again, as I've been saying, when Trump does what he says and he makes it so your grocery prices are cheaper and your gas prices are cheaper and your taxes are less, personal and business. When you're safer. When all of this stuff starts happening, you're paying less for a house. You're paying less for rent. When all this stuff starts happening, how are you going to get these people back? You see, we're all here. We all know what's coming. We understand you're fighting, and this is why, Trudeau is having an issue, and different countries are freaking out because the globalists understand at this point he's about to tear that to pieces. Just... But the good Democrats, ones who, they're legitimate. You've got family members who aren't crazy. They've just been lifelong Democrats. They thought this was true. And now they're finding out they've been lied to.
Make the case that the right had a monopoly on insidious evil tendencies, corrupt tendencies, duplicitous, hypocritical, untruthful tendencies. And every time they made those accusations, we turn around and find out that at least some of them are guilty of the same shit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of all of it. I'm sick of all of it. They've actually made Donald Trump look like he was right instead of them.
That's because he was. They didn't make him look like he was right. He was right all along. So you're still not there, Stephen A. You got to take that leap. If you see my video tonight, I can help you, brother. But you got to take that leap and realize you've been completely lied to. you were completely hoodwinked. And now you're seeing, and this is what really happens bad. Now that you're seeing that they lied about this, you have to sit back and wonder, what else have they lied to you about? Oh yeah, because at that point, now you start thinking. You start doubting, well, they told me this. Is that true? Oh no, you're about to see more of that. Wait, I hope you didn't get the jabademic. Wait till that stuff comes out. Pretty much, I think you did, because I think ESPN made everybody do it. Wait till that stuff comes out and you find out more and more. There are going to be some pissed off Democrats. The more stuff gets revealed. Oh, wait. What about the list? What about some of the people, Stephen A., that you've been interviewing over the last decade, hold in high regard in the NBA, entertainment? What happens when you start seeing some of those people's name on these lists and find out they've been traveling and going back and forth and doing some untoward stuff with, dare I say, kids? What happens to your worldview when you find out you've been hanging out with people who have been doing really bad things to kids? What kind of culture shock will it be when you look around the room and go, I've been partying with them, I know them, and I didn't know when I wasn't around them they were doing stuff on one of these, parties or islands? Or did you go to any of these parties? Better come clean now. I'm telling you, anybody, I'm looking in the camera, anybody who's been to one of these parties that you thought was just fun, but you knew what was going on, I would make a beeline to talking to Kash Patel or somebody. Don't be the one standing when the music stops. Y'all know what happened. Those of you here watching this video, if you have not looked at some stuff that Cat Williams has put out, Cat Williams is a black comedian, and Cat Williams has been kind of talking about some of the stuff that he observed. I would almost have to think that the people that Stephen A. Smith hobnobbed with, he's going to know some of these people who did some crazy stuff. Why do you find that out, Stephen? Because right now you're like, that can't possibly be true. What happens when you find out it's true? Your entire worldview gets shattered. Again, as more of this information comes out, more Democrats will flee that party. They're not going to want to be associated with that. Don't even talk to me. You've been hiding this? Ashley told me, just to let you guys know, a heads up. This will probably have to be one of the banned on YouTube videos. Ashley just confirmed an interview with Tim Ballard. Now, those of you who saw the movie Song of Freedom, Tim Ballard was the FBI agent in that movie who helped liberate a bunch of those kids. We got an interview coming up with him. And I'm going to have to pray. I'm going to have to pray hard, because some of the stuff that he may say, you may see Barry cry on camera for the first time. Well, that'll be a second time. But I'm going to have to pray before we get into that. because I'm going to ask him. So tell me about, I know what you did with, how you brought some of those kids back. Did you ever find any kids or hear about any kids at some of these, parties? Is it true? I want to know. We heard what Mel Gibson said, and Tim Ballard was actually involved in the case. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Let me just make sure. Is Ashley texting me? No. Think about that. I love it when I get to talk to people who actually have seen and been there, and understand everything that's going on that the media won't tell us. Yeah, it's Sound of Freedom. It was right, Sound of Freedom. But go ahead and search Tim Ballard and see if you haven't seen the movie, first of all, go see the movie. Be prepared for the interview by going to see the movie. And one of the questions I will ask him straight up, I'm telling you right now, and Ashley, you can tell him I'm going to ask him, are the rumors we're hearing about certain people's parties, if I'm on Rumble, I'll actually be able to say it, is it true? Did stuff happen at these parties? And then you're going to watch a lot of people just go, oh. Because I don't know. I want to get confirmation. Oh, my goodness. Sound of Freedom was so sad and scary. How did we get here? Don't know. It's well over 500,000 kids at this point. And once you see it, you can never close your eyes anymore. I'm going to ask him that. Yeah, how do you sleep, bro? Try to get the director, too. He would love to be interviewed by you. Yeah, I would like to get him. I'd love to get Jim Caviezel as well. Jim Caviezel. love to get him on, too. Get out Barry Dice with Ashley. Let's see. Man, I'm looking at some of these things here. Remember at Daddy Bush's funeral when Trump handed them all a note? Would love to know what that note said. Let's see here. Yes, I saw the movie Sound of Freedom. I cried my guts out till the end. Yeah, I wasn't ready for all that. It was absolutely stunning. So Ashley's got an interview set up with him. I think it's going to be fantastic. And Stephen A. Smith, when you find out that some of the people that you've been elbow to elbow with, some of the biggest names in entertainment and sports, have been doing some of this stuff, oh man, I can't even imagine.
The Inspector General is coming out with all of these facts. Does that mean that Liz Cheney and the J6 committee knew about this?
Well, wouldn't that be great to know, Maria? But they destroyed all the documents on their way out. So again, this whole thing was propped up. I just think you have to look at the arc of the story here. The January 6th committee was set up for the very specific purpose of giving somebody like Jack Smith the reason to go charge President Trump.
That's right.
And to take him out politically.
So if as we know that to be true, dovetailing off of what Stephen A. Smith said and how he's upset because it's making Trump look correct, making all of us look like we knew what we're talking about. It's because you were ignoring all this stuff. And they brought in a Hollywood director, I'm talking about the J6 committee, to make it be a show. Why would you have to bring in a Hollywood director to direct what was going on? Because you were trying to convince people. You were looking to pull the wool over their eyes. And some people it worked, Stephen A. Smith. And now you're finding out that was a lie. Do you know how much of the stuff that you swallowed is a lie?
That's the whole thing. They had a Hollywood producer, Maria, come in and do the January 6th hearings with Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger and that whole crew. It was a total joke. They destroy the documents on the way out. Jack Smith props up these ridiculous cases that, of course, had no legal merit. The Supreme Court knocks it out with the presidential immunity ruling anyway.
So understand that destruction of documents, that's against the law. The fact that they destroyed documents and nobody has made them accountable for that. You gotta believe there's going to be a whole lot of pardons. these people have no choice. They know what they've done. And it seems as though Biden has no worry about basically pardoning the worst of society. We've seen already some of these people he's given pardons to. Wait till it hits the people who visited, the island.
Connie Willis, their second command is meeting at the White House coordinating. The number 3 person at DOJ goes to the New York prosecutor's office. And President Trump stared all of it down, and won in a mandate, won the popular vote, and here we go now with an opportunity for a real reform agenda. So, as terrible as all this stuff was, the light at the end of the tunnel here is we're on the precipice, I think, of a great American renewal here, not just economically, not just militarily, but for transparency.
It's Donald Trump's party and his...
Okay, so we go back to this. So earlier today, if you guys weren't here, I was saying that it's no longer the Republican Party. It is now MAGA. Might as well just change the name, change it from RNC to MNC. It is MAGA, the National Convention, National Committee. There is no more Republican Party. You heard that Mitt Romney in my video earlier today where he said it. As much as Mitt Romney doesn't like Donald Trump, he said it. Hey, this is MAGA. It's gone. Lisa Murkowski, take a hike. Susan Collins, Mitch McConnell, you're all done. You're all done. And so this guy from CNN, who's their pollster, starts address. Finally, it's amazing to me. On December 16th, they're finally realizing, hey man, this MAGA stuff is serious. I didn't realize that. Oh, wow.
GOP opponents can cry if they want to borrow some words from Leslie Gore. Look, GOP voted to impeach or convict Trump. You go back to January, February 2021, it was 17 Republicans. They're adios amigos, goodbye, see you later for the most part. Now, just 5 of them remain in Congress, just 2 in the House, 3 in the Senate. The bottom line is this: Trump had a big control over the Republican Party before, but now it is even stronger. There are very few folks who dislike Donald Trump on the Republican side who are still in the United States Congress. He should be able to ram through legislation, at least on the ones in which he just needs Republican votes.
This is why it's so important for Elon and everyone else who says we're going to primary these people, because as you saw those numbers and said, there's only a few people now who remain. We've weeded out so many of them. There's just still a few stragglers that we just got to get out of here. And I've just mentioned 3 of them: McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, what was the other one? Susan Collins, and I guess there's a couple more. Got to get rid of them.
And we're seeing the pressure campaign for his cabinet picks right now on the Hill. There were some anti-Trump sentiments going on among GOP voters during his first term. What does it look like now for his second?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the same basic thing that we see in the United States and the United States House. All right, Republicans on the Trump transition. You go back to January 2017, it was 80% approved. Now, that's not bad. But, oh my goodness gracious, look at where we are now. It's 96%. I mean, you can't get any more universal base.
It's MAGA, baby. It's no longer the RNC. You look at those numbers. There's no denying it. So the people who are trying to fight against Trump, you're fighting a futile battle. There's no way you are going to win in the long term. This man is coming in with a Thor-sized hammer, and he's going to bop you on the head. Bink, you got to go. If you care about your political survival, unless you're just going to ignore anything, you're toast. You're absolutely toast.
Basically, the 96%. Those that disapprove, look, it was 10% back in January 2017. Now it's down to, get this, it's down to just 4. It's down to just 4. So look, there are no GOP opponents in the United States Congress. There are very few among Republican voters. This is Trump's party. Mitt Romney, 100% correct. on that. Folks like Romney just really don't exist in the GOP electorate or in Congress anymore.
So he makes this statement that I think a lot of people thought, yeah. Sort of stating the obvious. What about 2028? Is there any sign that that's going to change?
Yeah, look, if you're a GOP opponent of Donald Trump, maybe you hope the future is somehow brighter for you. Not right now. Look, it's still very, very early, but
they just might as well resign. It might as well resign. There is no non-MAGA candidate even close to being able to run in 2028. Nobody.
Look, the top chances to be the 2028 GOP nominee based upon the polls and the betting markets, Vance, Trump Jr., Ramaswamy. Look, it's still very early, but this looks like Trump's party for now, and it looks like it will be for the foreseeable future.
So I'm going to tell you again, Trump gets done what he needs to get done. I don't see there being any viability for the Democrat Party for the foreseeable future. Can you even imagine? I just want you to think. Can you imagine what life would be like? What this country would be like if 2028, 2032, God willing, we're still here. And it's still Republican. It's still MAGA. That means young MAGA has grown up to be more mature adult MAGA. They're done. So Trump's got to carry the torch and get stuff done from 2024 to 2028. And then if somebody comes in at 2028, if they want to go ahead and run AOC or Kamala, good luck. And then 2028 to 2032. Can you imagine 8 years of unfettered MAGA, what this country will be like? That's what I think he's searching for. That's what he's looking down the road. 8 years of just pounding these Democrats into submission. And rhinos, just completely exercising all the rhinos. I think I'm going to change my voter registration to MAGA. Whew, yeah. I'd like to know what that debate would look like. If Trump is successful, which I think he will be, as I've said, nobody can answer me. What are you going to, what's your platform going to be like in 2028? I want to raise your taxes. No. Oh, God, MAGA is the mega force. Oh, yeah, exactly. Barron. Yeah, Barron might be a nice, good vice president by then. Dark MAGA will expose more deep state after January 20th. Just keep doing it. Just keep exposing all of them. He's not even in office yet, and Canada's about to collapse. I call that.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
You know, when he said that, a lot of us loved it. We didn't think at this point we'd be on the precipice of living it. And today was a huge day. I mean, 100 billion, maybe 200 billion. How do you counter that? You notice none of the Democrats did. I follow a lot of them so I can see what their messaging is. Okay, we're going to shut up now. We're not even going to talk. 100 billion? You're not even in office? Yep, 100 billion. Canada's fallen? Yep, Canada's fallen. What do you say? I saw Joe was out there trying to enshrine 42,000 government employees so they can't be fired. Good luck with that. What do you do? Who's leading the country? Nobody. And so I got a couple things that happened from today's press conference that I didn't have a chance to cover today, this afternoon. Let's jump into that.
Mr. President. Yes, please.
Do you expect Ron DeSantis to appoint Laura Trump to Senator Marco Rubio's seat?
No, I don't.
The question, in case you couldn't hear it, was somebody asked, do you expect Ron DeSantis to appoint Laura Trump? And surprisingly, he says no.
Probably don't, but I don't know. Ron's doing a good job. That's his choice, nothing to do with me. Laura's unbelievable. I mean, she was incredible. The job she did at the RNC as chairman, along with Michael Watley, the combination. But I can just speak for Laura. She is so highly respected by women. I mean, even her workout routines are through the roof. She lifts 150 pounds. I don't know how the hell she does it. She's a bad example for men and women sports because I wouldn't be able to beat her, I don't believe. I'd try like hell. But no, she's an incredible woman. And, you know, it's funny. People oftentimes talk about nepotism. I never had, when I put her there, people said, how did you get her to do it? You know, she could have run for the Senate in North Carolina. Ted Budd would be the first to say, and he wouldn't have run. Nobody would have run. And she just said, no, I want to really focus on my children. When the election, and my family, she has a great family. When the election started getting closer, I asked her, would she go to Washington and work on the, as chairman of the committee along with Michael Watley. And they did such an unbelievable job. Especially on cheating, they stopped it, or at least they stymied it. Too big to rig. And we won in a landslide. You know, we won tremendously. She did an amazing job. Now Ron is going to have to make, because Marco has been really a star already. And we haven't started, but, you know, we see signs of from some people, or very early, we see signs of stardom. And Marco has done incredibly. He's sort of born for it. It was such an easy decision. The Marco decision was such an easy, but he leaves a vacancy in Florida, and Ron's going to have to make that decision, and he'll make the right decision. I also know that Laura's got so many other things. I mean, she's got so many other things. People want her to be on television. They want to give her contracts. You know, her predominant thought is our country and her family. Those are her thoughts. But she's got so many other things that she's talking about. He'll make the right decision.
All right, so something interesting he said there, I don't know if you guys picked up on it, is that Laura Trump and Michael Watley stymied the cheat. I would love to hear more about that. I would love to figure out what did they do, what did they see, and is more coming? See, when he said that, it piqued my interest. I'm like, did they find something that they're going to tell Pam Bondi, or they've already told Pam Bondi and Kash Patel? In order to stop the cheat, you mean they were cheating. And you were able to stop it by making it too big to rig, but you have evidence that they were actually cheating. I don't know if you guys caught that. And I went, interesting. So they did try, and they were doing it, but they couldn't do it enough. Which means at this point, they have all that information. They know who was doing what. And they weren't about to report it now and have Merrick Garland be the one that would have to investigate. So they're sitting on it. The statute of limitations isn't going to run out in 30 days. But you can bet they already know who was doing what, when they were doing it, and how it was being done. And so I would expect that we're going to see some things open up very quickly in terms of investigations because of what he just said. He just said it, you know, they caught him. And if they don't know that they've been caught, who knows what state? Maybe it was Kerry Lake's race. Maybe it was out in California. I don't know. But Biden's going to have to pardon these people that they don't even know that they've been caught. There were eyes everywhere. You know that. There were poll watchers doing all kinds of things. So did the word go out this time? Don't say anything. Mark it down. Notate it. Let us know all the details. Don't make a big deal about it. And you notice there wasn't a big deal. There was a big deal a couple times when they tried to shut down the precincts early and not let people vote and stuff like that. Those were big out in the open things. But I'm wondering how many little behind the scenes stuff did they find that these guys were doing, were stuffing votes. I think Arizona is going to they're going to dig into that. How did Ruben Gallego get more votes running against Kerry Lake than Kamala Harris got? Wait till they dig into that one. That's going to be, man. Yeah, man, make the left talk. Make them talk. They have it. They need to wait until we have an honest DOJ. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they got all the information, and just wait. Just hold on. We'll get to that. We're not going to reveal our cards right now. If you reveal, he won, so he didn't have to. But if he had lost, he would have had to reveal it, and then he would have had to give it to, Christopher Wray and Merrick Garland. Now he doesn't have to turn over any of that information. He can just do it covertly. They can't cheat now, so they want to get rid of the Electoral College. Yep, absolutely. Bear, if these people are pardoned, do they get their rights to vote back? The pardon wipes out the crimes, clean slate, register and vote for Dems because Biden pardoned them. Good question. I'll have to ask some people about that. Really, just in Virginia, mostly in Pennsylvania, maybe some in North Carolina with what happened in Appalachia. Who knows? California, I've heard from a lot of people that California could possibly be turning red. And they may have, it took them 38 days. 38 days to keep, they counted, to get people into office. 38 days, a month, and 8 days. Why did you need 38 days to figure out who got elected? That alone would make me go look. Here comes another 8,000 pardons. Detroit had 79,000 unmatched signatures in 20 peer proof, but coward judges. No, yeah. Now he's gonna run it. Cheated in Massachusetts. Wow. You screwed the media. They're gonna screw the Dems. Oh, yep. It's unacceptable, bro. California is red. We have had some bad people running elections. So, with 38 days of cheating going on there, 38 days. You don't think that some people there saw something and they're just waiting? And they're waiting. Because don't show it to Christopher Wray. Don't show it to Merrick Garland. Take these people to the cleaners and show them when you have to bring it.
And they were actually very good under the past leader. But now we ordered an additional 200 miles of wall. It's very expensive. And now it's about double the price of what it would have been 6 years ago. And the administration is trying to sell it for 5 cents on the dollar, knowing that we're getting ready to put it up.
So in case you don't know, you should, but all that iron wall that's been sitting in Mexico and Arizona for quite some time because Biden didn't want to finish the wall, and it's just sitting there. Now he's trying to auction it off. Right before he leaves office, he's trying to auction all this stuff off. Dan Patrick, the lieutenant governor of Texas, is trying to buy it. He's trying to bid at it at the auction. He said he's got $1 billion to spend to buy it back. But in any event, they're trying to sell it. They're trying to get rid of it so Trump can't use it.
And what they're doing is really an act. It's almost a criminal act. They know we're going to use it, and if we don't have it, we're going to have to rebuild it, and it'll cost double what it cost years ago, and that's hundreds of millions of dollars because you're talking about a lot of wall. I built much more than I said I was going to build, but then after it was built, I said, we can do some more because it's sort of like water, people flow through, and that will pretty much really take care of it. And what happened is they just, as you see, they're trying to sell it for 5 cents on the dollar, and that's really that has nothing to do with a smooth transition. That has to do with people really trying to stop our nation. And all it means really is that we're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars more Not even talking about the time. Time would be pretty long. But we'll spend hundreds of millions of dollars more on building the same wall that we already have. And people have already come back to us that have deals at 5 cents and 4 cents, and one guy at 3 cents on the dollar, and they offered to sell it back to us at more money than it costs us to build substantially. Can you believe it? So they make a deal with the United States to buy it for pennies, and then they call us and they say, do you want to buy it back? We'll sell it back to you for hundreds of dollars a foot. Hundreds of dollars, from pennies to hundreds of dollars a foot.
Those people should be put in jail. You know, what did the Democrats say all along about the hurricane and everything else, that they wanted to go and address price gouging? And they're turning around and letting these people buy this this iron for the wall at 3 and 4 cents. And these people are turning around and calling Trump's people and saying, I'll sell it back to you for $100 a foot. But I know you just paid 3 cents for it. Man, the Democrats are scum, and the media won't report it. The media will not report what Biden is doing with that wall.
And we can't let this take place. Now, we're going to go. I spoke with the Attorney General of Texas. I spoke to the senators of Texas. I spoke to a lot of people, and hopefully they'll be able to stop. We're going to be, having a restraining order. But just think about how ridiculous it is. And this is just people that don't want this country to succeed. And this has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. This has to do with common sense. We won on common sense, and this is maybe one of the most egregious examples I've seen. So the people that are buying it or trying to buy it are trying to make a deal with us to sell it back at hundreds of times more than we paid. And this is all because the Democrats. So I'm asking today Joe Biden to please stop selling the wall. We're going to use that to create a strong barrier, and it worked. That's why our numbers were so good. It really worked, and it worked well, and it's very expensive to do. And I'm asking Joe Biden to stop his people from giving it away. It's something that people can't even believe is happening. So I think you're going to find.
You have to wonder, when he did that, and he said, I'm asking Joe Biden to stop this, you have to wonder if Joe Biden even knew it was happening. So I doubt Joe is watching television, but it's likely Jill may have seen it. He may have been doing an end run around whoever was in the White House or in the administration who had ordered this to take place. Just, hey, Joe, just sign this. Okay, sign it. Thank you. And Joe don't even know. Or they may have a rubber stamp, signed it. But I just found it odd that he asked Joe in the camera, you know about this? Can you knock it off, please? And you just makes you wonder, does Joe even know what these people are doing, what these scumbags are doing? You hate America so bad, you can't even stomach the thought of this wall going up. And you're willing to sell it off so you can put Trump at a disadvantage. And then, yeah, exactly, Biden isn't doing anything. He's a puppet. And yet at the same time, this was at a press conference today. That same media that's so worried about being sued, crickets. Complete crickets. Not even on any of their websites. Not mentioning it. Hey, listen, they're dumping this stuff to try and hurt America before Trump gets in. You would think that would be something. I mean, it happened at a news conference. We all just watched it. Nope. Nothing. Nothing at all. Just ignored it like it never even happened.
Bobby he's a very rational guy. I found him to be very rational. No, nothing, you're not going to lose the polio vaccine. That's not going to happen. I saw what happened with the polio. I have friends that were very much affected by that. I have friends from many years ago, and they have, obviously, they're still in not such good shape because of it. And many people died. And the moment they took that vaccine, it ended. Dr. Jonas Salk did a great job. So I don't anticipate that at all. But we're going to look into.
So what he was talking about today is RFK Jr. went, it was his turn to do the rounds talking to the various senators. And for some reason it came up that RFK Jr. wants to do away with polio. And he's like, no, we're not going there. Stop making stuff up. You people suck.
Finding why is the autism rate so much higher than it was 20, 25, 30 years ago? I mean, it's 100 times higher. There's something wrong, and we're going to try finding that. The biggest difference is that people...
I'm looking at a couple comments here. It's like he just put the responsibility back on Biden and revealed to the public the pettiness of the Democrat Party. But if nobody talks about it, nobody's going to know. I mean, yes, he was saying this at a press conference, but we don't know if when that started coming up that the CNNs and CBS and ABCs of the world, they turn it off. Don't hit the button. Don't show this part. Probably. Because it's not anywhere. Nobody's talking about it. Didn't happen. First off, you're right, Roger. It isn't the Democrats' money. It's the American taxpayers' steel wall sections. And they're dumping it. Just dumping it. Let's see here. Our elected officials are supposed to, okay, why can't Trump stop selling the iron for the wall so he can be safe? Because he's not in office yet. So right now you're seeing the Democrats basically become pain in the butts and doing whatever they want to basically cause a problem. Gladiator Barry, hold the line. Trump is bringing full transparency to this term, and he's letting people know. And by doing so, he's letting other people know, don't trust the media because they're not showing this. Which is why I say don't even bother doing the press conferences. You don't need to bring in bloggers and YouTubers. Just don't do them. Just here's a press release. Go do whatever you want with it. Because they're only in it to promote themselves on camera. They want to create their brand. They won't even cover you now. They're not going to cover you then. They're going to pick and choose.
Along with me this time. Well, they've gone through 4 years, and, it wasn't easy for me, but it wasn't easy for them either. And that's a great thing, though. Getting along is a great thing. So Tim Cook was here. I think he's done an incredible job at Apple, and he talked about the future of Apple. It's going to be a bright future. But we have many others also, and not in that business. And we do have Jeff Bezos, Amazon, coming in sometime during the week. I look forward to that. We have
Washington Post employees. Jeff Bezos says, hey, we got to change up this newsroom here at the Washington Post. We got to bring in people who can discuss the other side of the aisle intelligently without having your hair on fire. And they're losing it. They quit. I don't know how you threaten one of the richest men in the world. Well, if you don't let us talk crap about Trump, we're not going to work here. Okay, there's the door. You're done. And so he's coming in on Thursday. Jeff Bezos is coming to talk to Trump at Mar-a-Lago on Thursday. Going to fly in with his nice big jet. And it's his turn to kiss the ring and figure out what he's going to do.
A lot of great executives coming in. The top executives, the top bankers, they're all calling. And honestly, in the first time, I don't know what it was. It's like a complete opposite. In the first one, and the press has covered that fairly, actually, for change. The first one, they were very hostile. And maybe it was my fault, but I don't really think so. They were just very right from the beginning. And this one is much less hostile. It's really the opposite of hostile.
Producer spoke with Trump's attorney, Alejandro.
All right, so this piece right here, it caught me because Megyn Kelly somehow got a hold of the attorney for ABC, the one who basically had to handle the lawsuit about George Stephanopoulos. And he actually told her what happened. This is fascinating. It's only 2 minutes, but it's fascinating.
And here's what he said. Our question was, why did ABC decide to settle? The long and short of it is the nature of the claims that were brought and the fact that they were verifiable from a standpoint as factually untrue from George Stephanopoulos. Trump's legal team had separate video clips of George Stephanopoulos on ABC that showed Stephanopoulos knew that Trump had not been found liable for rape. This was not a situation where there was simply a misunderstanding. George Stephanopoulos interviewed E. Jean Carroll after the trial on his show, and we had video of his questions to Carroll, and when he asked her how she felt after Stephanopoulos said Trump was not liable for rape.
Sorry, that snuck in there. It's news. So she's telling you they got tapes, which means all these other things that these media people have been doing, they got tapes. And over the course of time, many of these media people have tied themselves into knots, saying XYZ on one day and ABC on the other day and DEF on a third day, and you have all these clips. Because when you're lying and you continue to lie, Joy Reid, you don't remember what you said. I bet you if they pulled a bunch of Joy Reid tapes, they're just going to have a field day. I bet you if he sued MSNBC or Comcast because of stuff that Joy Reid said, they would just settle as soon as the lawsuit hits, the subpoena comes in the office. We're sorry. Same thing with The View. At some point now, let me get back to it, but there's video. There's actual stuff we can watch. I knew it, you know it. And these people don't seem to realize that there's banks and banks and banks and archives of footage where you guys have said X, Y, and Z.
Pose that with his questioning of Mace. That's very interesting. It's a good point. We should go back and pull that.
How about yesterday in the courtroom? The first announcement was made, and it was that he was not found liable for rape. What were we thinking at that moment?
Was there something, this is us, in Discovery that scared ABC into settling? Answer, the possibility of something coming out in Discovery may have had led to the settlement.
All right, so Discovery, just to let you guys know who haven't been involved or anything in that. At that point, the next step, after the judge said, yes, this case can continue, they are then going to ask for discovery. They're going to ask for copies of emails, copies of tapes, the originals, pre-edits, raw footage, everything. And at that point, the lawyers for ABC knew this stuff was going to get into the weeds. They knew once they start seeing different emails, and some of these emails may say stuff they don't, it may not even be directly related to this case, but they're going to see it. And if they're going to see it, knowing that this guy is about to be inaugurated as president with another DOJ, the attorneys on this case can go, hey, we saw at the 14th minute of this tape on January 12th where they said this. And then there's an email that corresponds with it that says that they got the information from here. You see how that hornet's nest could have blown up on them?
Trump legal team had scheduled to take the deposition of an ABC rep, and George Stephanopoulos. The lawyer suspects ABC did not want it to happen. Quote, it wasn't something ABC learned that caused them to settle, but rather something Trump's team may learn, he said, end quote. Our question, had they already exchanged documents, to my point of normally you exchange texts and papers before you sit for the deposition. He said that there had been minimal document exchange in Discovery. Trump team was waiting on ABC and Stephanopoulos to respond to Discovery demands. He said at the time of the settlement, ABC had only, quote, produced one piece of paper, end quote. Very interesting. And now.
So they got dropped on them. Hey, listen, we're going to need copies of this, and that, this, and that, and the other thing. We can't do this. We can't give him all this information. Cut the check. How much he want? I don't know, but cut the check. If we give him up all this information, we are toast. Which pretty much tells Trump's team, there's fire back there, but he settled. Whew. Whew, but there's stuff back there they don't want anyone to see.
Provided any other documentation. He believes fear of what Trump could learn about ABC and Stephanopoulos in document exchange may have played a role in the settlement. That's very interesting.
I'd say, because they basically admitted, well, you can't say admitted, they basically postured as if the stuff that we can't show you would crucify us. We can't show you this. Okay, pay me $15 million. We'll make this go away. Cut the check. I bet you he could have got 50. I bet you he could have got 100. There was a reason why he settled for 15. He didn't want to be bothered with this probably going into January, and because he didn't want to be bothered with it, yeah, it might end up being something else down the road. But they now know, as Megan does, everybody knows there's fire under that smoke. There's stuff we might want to look at for some reason. Remember, he's appealed the judgment with that woman. She's never going to see $90 million. It ain't ever going to happen. But at the same token, now they may get subpoenaed anyway. You caved so quick on this, now we're going to have to subpoena you. Oh, we're not suing you. It's sort of like taking the fifth. And no, we settled on this, but I got to go after her, so I need to talk to you guys anyway, Georgie. This could get deep, 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 deep. They lucked out. He only took $15 million. Oh yeah, I think he could have gotten much more. I'm thinking that it wasn't the objective. Why are people who are claiming that RFK Jr. will end the vaccine, but same ones protect the new ones coming having to take it? Nuts. 2 Canadian ministers resigned. Yep, you're talking. We covered that earlier, and Trudeau may be on his way as well. The $15 million is a body shot. Yeah, Sue Rabin goes, "Yep, they showed their hand quickly." You know, you got to dig further and start seeing this stuff. Hey, Jack, thank you very, very much. Make an example, and they will cut the crap. To quote Jovan Pulitzer. Yeah, a lot of these people have got to be terrified. Got to be terrified. I like Megyn Kelly. She's a full-fledged Trump supporter. What you may not know about Megyn Kelly, some of you may, but Megyn Kelly is an attorney. I mean, she went on Fox News and everything, but she's an attorney. So she knows where what to look for, what to ask for. Check out the documents. She's good. She's very good in that regard. Taxpayers have already paid for that steel. We own it, and they're dumping it. Yep. I mean, that's almost, I won't say criminal, but that's malpractice. I mean, you're making America take a loss solely because you want to hurt Trump. That's it. That may be the deal. Give us what you got for $1 million. Yep. Oh man, that could be it. All right, so that's what I got for you tonight. Thought you guys might like hearing some of that stuff. Do me a favor. We're going to give away a couple hoodies right now. But if you want to enter, because if you haven't entered, go ahead and go to fanfareshop.org and go ahead and enter. And once you're in, you don't have to re-enter. And I promise I'll have this graphic change tomorrow, where we now have 12,000 people in that group. So if you'd like to join us over on X, love to have you. Love to have you. So let me go ahead and get ready to give away these hoodies and make sure that we have enough in here. What I mean enough is I have to make sure the dates work and everything, that we have enough. How many we give away? Okay, so we're looking good. Okay, we're looking good. All right. And Ashley just ordered a bunch more, so we're sitting pretty there. All right, so let me go ahead and move this over here so you guys can see it. Where is the page? Cool, you guys can see it. All right, first things first, so I don't mess this up. Let's go with the drum roll. Jan Cleary has won a free hoodie. Let me look at the next one. Oh, we got to do the drum roll. And that would be Darlinda Urbano. Darlinda Urbano. I think I said that correctly too. And one more. Oh, we got a guy finally. Victor Catala. Victor Catala, you guys, congratulations on a hoodie. I don't know where you live. Ashley will get a hold of you. Hopefully it's nice and toasty wherever you guys are. Down here, it's been very nice lately. All right, so let me do the super chats. Let me make sure they're showing up. Judy Catan, very thank you for your truthful podcast. Watch you daily in Texas. Don't get me started on the wall. Merry Christmas to you and your Merry Christmas to you. Jade Shade, a viewer just asked if Trump can serve as VP after his term as POTUS. Yes, he can. Don't know if he'd want to, but yeah, he could. Let's see here. Drew Pointer, maybe Hunter was a visitor also. Oh, there's me, Neo. I guess you're back. Neo thought he was blocked. He wasn't blocked, but YouTube was doing something. Dems being vindictive with the wall, trying to set Trump back. It may cost more and more lives at the same time. Yep, you're correctly nailed that. Greg Barth, thank you very much. Okay, where it is. How can Biden be incapable to stand trial but yet give pardons? Great question. Great question. Big Cat doing great shows. Thank you very much. Thank you for. I was hoping I didn't tick some. You know what? Do me a favor. Actually, I'll take a poll tomorrow, or if you guys just want to let Ashley know. Do you want me to bring Joe McGee on for a open forum? Questions about Bitcoin. If you guys want it, let me know. Terry Crabtree, take him to the Yellowstone train station. Thank you. Barb Johnson, Barry, wouldn't it be awesome if the drones were a white hat operation looking for the kids? Yeah, that would be awesome. Diane Torian, don't worry, God is in control of everything. We are his children, and he loves us deeply, and that is true. Demon of Cybertron, Mexico might fall as well once that border closes. Imagine a whole globalist thing tilting on its axis. From Mountain Goddess, I believe that many politicians are getting kickbacks from the cartel. They need to launder the money, so look for any new business deals associated. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of people. If the list disappears, who's held responsible? Good question. Christopher Wray? Maybe Christopher Wray? I don't know. Eric West says, Democrats and network news talking heads read the book of Jude. You will see your future. And a couple more. What we got? Josh, thank you very much. Barbara, thank you very much. Just another knucklehead. Is there any work being done in the White House? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that they're done. They've checked out. It's over. And I don't know who's running anything. Barbara Farrell, dang, Barry, hoping Trump will take it to SCOTUS. Yeah, she's talking about the whole thing with Merchant. Crazy. Sandra J.G. Thompson, let's face it, they think he's a dictator. Well, President Trump, bring it on. You'll be defamed for loss of lamb as a sheep. Lori Hill, fight. Yeah, I think you guys all agree at this point. Go Scorched Earth. Don't even worry about it. We got your back. People love it. Do whatever you need to do at this point. Mama Mima, just a little tidbit. Open account on the river. Bought $10 this morning. Today it's at $10.10. There you go. Carmen Flores. Can Ashley check if I'm on the hoodie list? I tried signing up and not sure it went through. Thanks for a great show. Yeah, I will check too. But Ashley, could you check to see if Carmen is on the list? See if her entry went through. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this show. And if you came to the early one, thank you for tuning in that one as well. Have a good evening. Look away if you're subject to seizures by flashing lights and stuff. I may change it out so I don't have to keep saying that. But some people really like it. So I don't know. You guys let me know. All right. Thank you very, very much.